more than ever today on Coach's Corner. Hey friends, welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Robert Imbriali. Thank you so much for watching and joining us today. I'm back in the studio, as you can see. Last week I was out and about, and a lot of people really enjoyed that walkabout that I did. It's kind of interesting, kind of fun to do. But I think I really enjoy being here in the studio more than anything, and I'm able to share a lot with you. Now, I should let you know, some people ask, hey, how come you don't respond to my chats when I'm chatting with you? How come you don't respond to it? And the reality is because I am streaming on multiple platforms. I think right now we're live on 9, and by the time we're done, we're going to be on 30 different platforms. So it's not, possible for me to have screens everywhere and check all the information that's coming to me. So, go ahead and put your questions in there. We'll respond to them later because I do go through all the social media sites and have a look at what's there and what people are talking about and what questions I can answer for you. So don't be shy. If you see something or want to ask a question about something, put it in the chat and I'll go back and I will answer it. Just not in real time, which is what we're doing right now. This is real time, my friends. And I just want to let you know that this show actually now is on more than 30 different social networks by the time it's all said and done. All the podcast sites and all the video hosting sites, it just goes everywhere. And it's really been growing, and I really appreciate all your support and help in making this show a reality. I want to talk this week. It's been a challenging week for a lot of people. You have to hear that from me, right? You kind of know. You just look outside or look at the media, look at what's going on out there. It was very chaotic this morning, even coming into the studio. My drive is about an hour to get here in the morning, and it was very chaotic. There were 2 military convoys, one heading north and one heading south. I'm right on the edge of Camp Pendleton, so probably not that unusual. But the traffic was unusual. The traffic pattern was a lot more traffic. It took me a lot longer to get here, and everyone was kind of scrambling and not knowing what to do. And, I'm looking at my email when I get in. I check my social media sites. I check, the things that are going on there. And what I often see is that I get questions from people who are, honestly having a rough time right now. And you can certainly understand it. And it's really interesting because coaches, for as long as I started coaching back in 1995 when I first started, there were very few people calling themselves a coach, right? So coaching was kind of new and brand new, and I trained with Tony Robbins and got out there and started coaching. I coached 2,000 people in my first 2 years of coaching, and that's a lot of people. That's a lot of experience, right? Because there was so much demand, and there weren't any people out there who were able to do the coaching. So it was really a great opportunity for me. I learned a lot and became really, really, really good at what I did. And, I've seen during that time and ever since, I've been working with people on all walks of life. I mean, top CEOs to even literally homeless people. I mean, everything in between. And, you see a lot of the same things. You might say, well, the homeless person has different, challenges than the CEO. And you'd be surprised to find out that many of the challenges really are the same. They just handle them differently, right? So the CEO may have found a way to solve his money issues, but, ask him about his relationship, and, his relationships at home aren't too well, right? So things are out of balance. For all of us, they are out of balance. It's even more exacerbated when times like right now are happening, because it's throwing us for a loop. Because the sort of the baseline of life that we normally have, we have this baseline. We say life goes on. I pretty much know what's going to happen. It's Thursday today. I know what'll happen tomorrow, Friday. I know what I'm doing on the weekend. I know what Monday will look like. There's a little variation in there, but really not that much. It's different now, isn't it? Past 2 years have been very strange. And the idea of normality and smooth waters and smooth sailing, we haven't seen a whole lot of that. And it's challenging for people, individuals who don't have any training. Lucky for us, if you're a coach, you've had some training in this and you can deal with it probably better than most. And my message to you today is really about that. It's really about, okay, I know you've learned a lot about coaching. I know you've learned a lot of skills and a lot of things you can do to be able to navigate rough waters. And it's now a time for you to step up and not sit back and go, well, if people pay me enough money, maybe I'll coach them. We're a little bit beyond that right now because people are in need. And, really the greatest joy in coaching isn't the money anyway. Although the money can be very good in coaching, it isn't the money. It's the feeling that we get after we've coached somebody and really helped them through a difficult time. So right now, you look around, you look at your family, your friends, your relatives, your coworkers, you look at people in society, people who work at the grocery store, people who are serving you gas, all of it. And everybody's in this panic mode, right? So I was talking with a guy this morning and, he was having trouble with his phone and I just stopped and, I didn't have the time, but I helped him out with it. And, he was so grateful. It's like, because we're not getting a lot of that right now. So what's missing in society, right? Let's take it from maybe a bigger vision. Let's take it back a few steps and let's look at society as a whole. What do you think's missing? If I were to ask you, what do you think is missing right now? The one emotion that we need more in society right now that isn't there? Well, clearly love, right? That's what's missing right now. We're getting bounced around quite a bit and people aren't feeling cared for. They aren't feeling appreciated. They aren't feeling whatever. And it's hard sometimes, when you've got people working for you or you meet people in the street, it's hard to stop for a moment. The person who's behind the cash register at the store, it's hard to stop because you've got so much going on to stop and say, how's your day going? Are you doing okay today? And when you do that, it makes such a difference in their life. You say, well, I'm not getting paid to be a coach. Well, you can do it anyway and share a smile and share something. And I know a lot of you do this already, but it's a good reminder, especially during these times. Those people are stressed, right? Everyone you run into right now is stressed. It's really interesting to see it. But, it doesn't mean we're excused from it. It's our job really to help them, kind of see, that doesn't have to be so bad. My UPS driver today stopped by and I did the same thing. I spent, almost 10 minutes with him. He was getting late on his route, so I had to let him go. But, he was asking me questions and it's like, I'm happy to help, really happy to help him because it makes him feel good. But after he left, of course, what happened to me? Well, I felt good, right? I felt good that having helped him out a little bit and given him a little bit of a path forward. He was stuck and he needed to get to that next step. And I was able to do that for him pretty quickly. You can do that too. You've got those same skills. I'm not special in that respect, right? It's not I have skills that you don't have. You got the same skills, probably even better in some respects than me in some places. And I've got skills that can help and I don't hide them. So what's going on right now? Well, if you're following at all the stories of the day, right, you know what's going on and there's a lot of instability, right? I'm going to use that word. That's probably the best word to use. A lot of instability out there in terms of, what our future is going to hold. What does it look like tomorrow? What is it going to look like next week? We're having stories now that gas prices are going to spike and it's going to be $15, $20 a gallon. And, when that happens, the economy doesn't slow down. It grinds to a halt because nobody can afford anything because everything relies on gas at some point, right? So we're seeing that kind of stuff coming up. We're hearing World War III. We're hearing these kind of things that are really inflammatory. We're just hearing those and we're going, really? Is that what's going to go on? So a couple of things I'm going to leave you with today and really important to pay attention to them as well. So number one is to really look at yourself and say, I have to take care of me before I'm able to go out there and take care of anybody else. You might say, well, come on, I've heard that before, right? You go on the airplane, what do they tell you to do? Put your mask on. Why do you put your mask on first? Why can't you just help somebody else? Well, because when the cabin depressurizes, you'll lose consciousness so quick, you won't be able to help anybody else. But if you have your mask on, at least you can help them before they get into trouble, right? Same thing's going on right now. It's a metaphor, obviously, but same thing is going on right now where if you're not taking care of you, you've got less of you to give. Now, I'll give you a story. When I first started coaching back in 1995, 1996, I started doing professionally coaching. I was coaching, and I kid you not, 8 to 12 hours a day, 6, sometimes 7 days a week. And I was at hotels and meeting people in the lobby and coaching them right there in the lobby. And it was one after another. Every hour there was another person I needed to coach. I didn't take care of me. I didn't eat well. Sometimes I ate at the restaurant. Sometimes I ate nothing. And I'd come home at night. And literally, it was time for me to eat, and I had zero energy left to make anything. So I'd lie down on the couch saying, I'll just lie down for 15 minutes. And I woke up and boom, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and I got to jump in the shower and get going again, not having eaten, right? And it was day after day after day. What happened after 2 years, I burned out, right? So the lesson there isn't about don't burn yourself out. Well, that's one part of it. The other part is you can't give if you got nothing to give. So how good of a coach could I have been when my energy was, 10% of what it could be if I had taken better care of myself? So rule number one right now is you got to take care of yourself. You got to make sure that you are nourished, that you're well rested, that you're dealing and handling your stress. And if you don't have anyone to help you with that, get a coach, right? Sounds funny coming from a coach, but I have a coach, and I've always had coaches, and I've been working with sometimes as many as 6 coaches at once on different areas. And the reason is because sometimes we're too close to the problem. We can't see it. Right? It's a little bit like marketing. I tell my marketing friends, it's like the hardest person to market, the hardest thing to sell is my own stuff. I have a hard time writing copy for me, but somebody else comes along and says, here, Rob, can you help me market this? Bam, I know exactly what to do. So it's a little bit like that. Sometimes you're too close to your own issue. You're too attached to it or too emotionally connected to it to really understand what's happening. So a good idea is to get another coach and help get you through whatever the struggle is you're dealing with. You've got to be clear because, it's our calling, right? Our calling's to be a coach. We are being screamed at right now by society saying, we need you, 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 right? It's time. It's time for us to step up. It's time for us to get out there and make a difference. It's time for us to start talking to as many people as possible. I'm going to start a new coaching group of people because I can't reach the people I need to reach. Doing one-on-one is not going to get there. So I'm going to do some group coaching and put some groups together, probably 3 groups, and start working with people in a group call because most of the issues people are feeling are the same. So it's not necessarily that you need everybody individually. You can really deal and help a lot of people at once. You should be doing the same thing as well. Zoom is a powerful tool, right? Zoom is a powerful, powerful tool. Is it perfect? Is it like being in person? No. But aside from being in person, you've got Zoom. And I would suggest you use it. It's very cheap to do it and to set up a Zoom meeting where you can have all the people you want to work with. I don't even care what you charge them. Charge them nothing. Charge them $10 a month. Charge them $100 a month. Whatever you want to do. Right now, people need it. They need the help more than ever. And my assumption, it's just my assumption, is that's only going to grow from here. We're going to go through some rougher times, and people are going to be screaming and reaching out even more. So number 1 is take care of you. Make sure you're strong. Make sure you are in a good space. Make sure you're okay physically and also mentally and emotionally. Right? Because you could be stressed as well. And if you're not handling your stress well, it's really hard for you to be able to be in a position to help people who are stressed. I know some people do it. I do it. But we're better off, obviously, when we're, stronger and we're not as stressed. So I want you to do that. And the other thing that I want to talk about today, and this is one that kind of gets us into a strange situation because everything is divisive. Everything. Right? We saw the trucker convoy up there in Canada, and there were people who were for it and people who were against it. It's strange, but it's true. People who are against it listen to one set of media. People who are for it listen to a different set of media. And it's another division, another line of division. So the question then becomes, well, we're more divided now, and we're divided by many, many, many things. Not just that, but, you look at what's going on overseas right now, and you look at that situation, and we're divided there as well. It's another point of contention. So what I'm going to encourage you to do this is a harder one. This one's going to take a little bit of effort, but it's something I put a lot of time into because when my clients call me, they know they're going to get someone who's informed, right? I know both sides of the story. Why do I know both sides of the story? Because I can't help them if I only knew one side. If I'm in an echo chamber and all I'm surrounding myself with people who think the same way and do the same thing and believe the same thing and see things the same way, I'm not growing. The only way I can grow is to really look at different sources. So I have literally over 300 sources of information coming at me. Do I read all of them? No. I pick and choose. I go through it and I find things that seem to be important. And I learn the story from multiple angles, not just one angle. So that when my clients call me, this is the most important piece here is that you're informed, right? Because there's a lot of hype, and a lot of it is hype, and a lot of it is intended to scare people. So when they can come to you and you could say, listen, I know what you're hearing. Let me tell you what I see is really going on, which may be different from what you're hearing. They start to calm down. So I'll give you an example. There was a group on Facebook that is now gone, is wiped out. It was there last week, and I started posting these kinds of messages in there that, all you're seeing and what the stories that you're being told aren't true. Here is a different perspective. Here is a positive perspective. Here's a hopeful spin on it. And I would get 200, 300, sometimes 400 comments, hundreds and hundreds of likes and shares and that kind of thing, because people are hungry for that kind of message. Now, sadly, Facebook decided that group was not to their liking, so they deleted it. But I found another group and on another platform, and the same kind of things happening there. So what it told me was we as coaches need to be delivering this positive message because that's what people are hungry for. You want to grow your following, you want to grow your practice, you want to do all that, you need to step up. If you're not doing video right now, the question is why? Every one of us has a high quality camera in our pocket. Well, it shouldn't be in your pocket, but you have a high quality camera with you all the time. You buy a $30 little lapel mic and you could be doing videos all day long, telling people, giving advice. And when you give enough advice for free, you might say, well, I don't want to give advice for free. Free advice, free advice, free advice. How am I getting paid for that? Trust me, it builds your brand. And when people are in need, who are they going to call? They're going to call the person that was out there giving them the advice in the first place and helping them through the tough spots. So it's our opportunity now. It's our time to step up. It's, if you haven't gotten the call, the calls are coming. They're coming to me all day long. People are asking, I need help, I need help, I need help. I'm struggling. I no longer know what to do. I don't know what to believe. I'm hearing this, I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that. I'm informed. I did that on purpose, not just for me. I did it for me, of course, obviously, but I did it also so that I could share it with the people that I work with. So they come to me and they can get a calming voice. They can get someone who's grounded and knows a lot about the story, any of the top stories out there. I'm informed. In fact, more informed sometimes than a lot of people I run into who are also following it. But you have to decide that that's what you want to do. But you need to be informed. You need to stay strong. You need to stay healthy. You need to be on top of it because right now is our time. This is the time for coaches. If there was ever a time in history where coaching was going to be the most important gig going, it's right now. I don't care if you charge for your coaching. I don't care if you give it away. Time to step up. Time to get some videos, time to do some blog posts. If you don't want to do that, just go into social media. And when you see people complaining and they're angry and they're upset and you've done the work and you've informed yourself, reply to those posts. Put hearts on those posts, not likes. Likes do nothing. Put hearts on those posts that really more people should see. You think this is a good post, put a heart on it because that tells the algorithm that's a really good post and more people will see it. So I use hearts everywhere now because I know that's what we're telling the algorithm is, this is a good post. So every time I see people doing that, that's what I do. I encourage you to do the same. Get on social media and start spreading positive vibes. We need more of that right now, desperately need it because you know what's going on out there. It ain't pretty, right? And I don't want to mix words here, but it ain't pretty. And I don't think it's going to get pretty anytime soon. We'll get there. I know we're going to get there. Total faith we're going to get there. But we're going to go through some challenging times right now. And that's what we're here for. We're here to go out there and really be able to help people, guide them to the next step. I've always thought of a coach. You think, what is a coach, right? As people say, what is coaching? Well, coaching is not giving people the answers. What? Yeah, people, no, I'm coming to you for the answers. No, you're really not coming to me for the answers. The coach is the one who holds the flashlight and lights the trail. Right? I know where the trail is. I know where you need to go. I'm not going to light it up. I'm going to let you see it for yourself and you decide whether or not you want to walk that trail. And when you do that, it's very powerful, powerful results because the person feels empowered because they're not being told what to do. We had enough of that in high school, right? We don't need any more of that now as adults. We don't need that. We just need to be shown what our options are. Here are your options. This path will take you to the lake. This path will take you to the mountain. Which one do you want to go? Either one can be good, depending on what your wants are. And you just light that path for them and show them how to get there. And I tell you, that is the best kind of coaching. So right now, people are lost and they're bumping into things. They don't know what to do. They don't know what direction to take. They don't know how to protect themselves. I don't have all the answers either, but I do have, how to keep calm in this moment. How not to be freaked out about tomorrow. Tomorrow's not here. Let's be strong in this moment here today. And when tomorrow comes, we'll be better prepared. So my encouragement to you as a coach is to be prepared. Do everything you possibly can to stay prepared. Stay strong, stay focused, stay on top of things, stay informed, and be ready because those phone calls are going to come in. And there's a lot of them that are going to come in. There's a lot of people that are going to be reaching out to you. And you have to be ready. Sometimes you'll be coaching till the wee hours if that's what's required because people are going to be, ready to jump off the cliff, literally. So, you need to pull them back from the edge and say, it seems really bad, but, trust me, it's not as bad as it seems. There's a lot of good stuff happening as well, right? And no matter how thin you slice the coin, and no matter how thin it is, there's two sides to it. So you got to be able to see both sides and be able to help other people see those as well. All right. If this was valuable, and I hope it was, please share it with your friends and followers. I would appreciate that because we need to get this message out. I will be sharing it, like I said, on more than 30 different platforms as well. And I will make sure to come back again next week and share a little bit more. And I promise you, I'll come back sooner if there's something really important that I feel that everyone should know about. All right. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk again next week.